So they said the actress which has we're all grade grade 1. Yeah, basically not. Here in grade 2, here it is more like classical for grade 1.
Yeah, he would have loved that. We just had so much going on.
They indicated at the survey.
It's and they have.
And you've got software. Yeah, actually, by law, it's very expired on Saturday. So, they're trying to hire a third party coming to do it. Yeah. Yeah. And
We did. He's like,
we'll see.
he said,
So it'll be available for everybody.
As soon as I get it, I'm
One
gonna.
thing you can is one thing, delete it.
Well, it's right, there's been, when you believe something on the computer, there's evidence. A lot of times people let it cover, but the evidence that we didn't be there, and it was when something was deleted after the request, and then
I'll be shocked. They don't bring it.
selling insurance.
Big shot down, you know.
It will be different.
Yes, I'm saying I'm always saying that.
It will definitely be different.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? I'm good.
And this, all this, I got that. Can you not choke?
I don't be trying to. Sit right there, you won't see it.
Last time, Todd was texting me.
I know he texted me about it. He told me, and then you told me to tell him to stop.
Somebody told me, I seen the back of your head.
Well, you can't see you today. Let's see.
But I was probably sitting over him. I think. Last time.
Hey, how are you, sir? You on Thursday?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I'll share. I think, ask me later when this is over. How you doing? Is that a great day? Watch me today. They dominate the university to beat him. We stopped real well.
We have to ask the boss. Don't brag on everybody. Coming here from California, you know how it
Good, much better, good thing.
Y'all become regulars over here. You're the neighborhood folks.
Good
Like
thing.
the mayor of Margaret. You're the people. I'm gonna send you this. This is the power company. Well, yeah, that's where I go. Power call or net service or something. I can put in an order. So as I go through that, just let you know. Other things I would want to think of when I'm on the job. And we have a little bit of. David was telling me like Carry 35 kind of went past the property line. We have turned it over. Okay, so you're not worried about it. I am worried. So the dumpsters. Yeah, no, everybody complained to itself. We don't turn it over to the residents. All you do is get them off. That'd be calling every complaint. We don't need to turn it over to a realtor. As long as we still own the property. No, we're good. All right.
Yeah, they're quite out. Really? She went to state. She got a new deal instead. I still say because she was thinking that I had a talk in the office, and all of a sudden she falls in love and she stayed home. So now they get
About your place today? You hang on. Didn't hang yourself. Well, I'll tell you, they're there for them, both of them. That looks.
blacks.
The black.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds amazing.
A little bit.
I saw one today, stuff's gonna come off. One right there, between our, me and mom. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, but it's the flag gets wet, and then the wind blows, and you just, whips off, and this is weight.
I had one of my secretaries, little changes out here to see it. And my next time we ended up on the red road over. I said, well, I think I'm at that, but like you said, they get to look at this right
It
there.
gets wet, it's heavy.
And it's so small.
That's what happens.
mean, it looks good. I'm not driving down there. You know, well, we had them all the way from the barn in front of our gate all the way to the fire. Every pole was flat.
First of all, I thought the city does it. Real bad, he has a little motor, so he was in
A phone that's great.
Over 75. Well, the side looks good.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. What's inspiring?
One of these farms.
See, oh, we're short on colors. Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Hey, what paper's printed on?
Everyone, good evening. It's 6 p.m., so we're going to go ahead and start the work session for City of Margaret on June 1st, 2026. So just want to remind everybody this is a work session and it's just discussion. We'll walk through the items that are expected to come before the council. And unless there's something that needs to be clarified for the record, we'll just save all the formal motions for the council meeting. So the first item on the agenda tonight is on the work session agenda is bonds and financing for the fire apparatus and station. So I'm looking into getting all the options on the table so that we can review and determine what's the best option moving forward for funding for another fire station, new fire apparatus, and possibly some other projects. And so basically I just wanted to open up the floor and talk to council to see what their thoughts were about three topics, basically, like, you know, what financing options are they aware of that they want to pursue? How much do they want to go after, and what information they want to be presented with before they're willing to move forward with the decisions. So, you know, basically we don't need to be guessing at that point. We need to have our facts in front of us. Like the engineer presented us with about $1.4 million to build a new fire station. The fire truck was between $600,000 and $800,000 depending on the build out and availability. And if we're going to be going after bonds, like, is there anything else we want to do at the same time? General bond agents basically say get as much as you can, to do as much as you can at one time so that you're not wasting the process and you're not paying multiple origination fees and legal fees and processing fees. So it said it'd be best to get the station and the fire truck at the same time, and anything else if we are looking for something that we may not have the funding for. So any questions, concerns, or thoughts on ways and options to pursue? All right, this, to recap what we've been presented with previously, the fire truck company that came and presented those fire trucks with us presented the same financing package that we had gotten last time, which was about a 5 or 6% interest rate on a $700,000 to $800,000 loan, which is, you know, not a great way to finance fire apparatus. That's basically a third, if not a quarter of the third or a quarter of the fire truck in interest. So bonds seem to be a better option. I'll be meeting with some bond agents tomorrow in order to bring more information to the council at the next meeting. So is there anything else y'all like to see here for when I do bring the correction back. Okay. All right, next on the agenda, we're talking about some missing city items. So I brought this up in November, but I guess some folks didn't think I was taking it seriously. But, and this is really operational, but it doesn't matter. City property needs to be accounted for, and we have receipts for items that can't be currently located, and we need to find a clear process for identifying what else is missing, documenting it, and determining the next steps and what council wants to do about it. A couple examples include 2 air conditioning units that were purchased for the sewer treatment plant that were never installed. These were $1,500 a piece. They were bought roughly a year apart. Neither of them were installed in the facility, and what's currently there is nothing more than a home window unit. It's about $100 to $150. And so basically $3,000 worth of equipment was purchased, was not returned, and is nowhere to be seen. These were high-end air conditioning units that you typically see in a hotel that have all the controls built into the front piece. And it's clear that was what was in the control room at the sewer treatment plant at one time, but it's no longer there. It's been filled in with plywood, and it's just a home window unit. We had a projector that the city purchased for the Margaret Community Action Committee that the former and current people running the organization cannot find or locate. I believe it was nearly $5,000 for the projector. There are several generators that have been used multiple times during parades for lighting up Christmas lights during the Christmas parade, and they can't be located. There was a grill that we just recently purchased, and it's gone missing. And finally, there's also a white fire chief's helmet that valued at more than $1,700 that is missing in action. And so all of these things need to be handled professionally. We brought up to council and determine how we want to proceed and what we're going to do about the missing items that were paid for taxpayer funds. Again, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but these were items that did, if not nearly, rose to the level of a felony. So as council, we just need to determine what we're going to do about the missing taxpayer property. And I also want to start the process having the staff and department heads work through the remaining inventory items and identify anything else missing or accounted for. Once that list is complete, we can make a better determination. But for now, we have some pretty heavy items that we need to decide what we want to do with them. So I'm just looking for some formal input on how council would like to proceed and what you'd like to pursue about these missing items.
What would be the proper step? I mean, is this, we ask where it's at, no one tells us, then do we go and file a report, or what's the proper steps for this?
And like what Councilman Davis just asked, what's the proper steps for pursuing the missing equipment?
We would need to send a letter to those in possession asking them to return it, and then if they don't return city property, the proper course back would be to file a lawsuit.
So civil action.
Yes.
And in that case, you would be representing the city entity. All right. Any more questions about the missing items or how we want to pursue finding anything else that's missing? Okay. Accounting, or item number 3 is accounting services. So essentially, we've got a lot of back accounting that we need to do. We need to make sure it's done right. While the auditor is going through it, the 2025 financials now, we just want to bring somebody in and have them look at it and give a professional opinion on where we're at for the 2026 fiscal year so far, and allow them to report to council so that you can feel confident in the numbers and they can answer any questions you have about the financials and the structure and everything else. We've kicked off the financial committee meeting, but it's just 2 people right now, and so as we get more people, we'll expound upon that. But for right now, I think it'd be wise to bring somebody in, have them help clean up some of the spillover and get us up to date and make sure that our structure and our path forward is solid. Any questions, concerns, or thoughts about bringing in the accounting to help confirm the numbers? Okay. Not hearing any action. we'll move on to the next item, which is the public works repair quote for the Southern Pipe and Supplies. Todd, if you will.
Earlier this week, I sent out 2 quotes. We're running low on meters. It looks like the city's been buying 200 at a time, so I went back with a 200 quote. The 3/4 meters are $245.25 a piece, so 200 of them will be $49,050. The 5-foot antenna for the AMRs are $132 a piece, and 95 cents. So 200 of those would be $26,590 for a grand total of $75,640. The second quote is from Pumpkin Process, the lift station at the old car wash in Argo. The main breaker is starting to come apart to the panel. Also, the soft start is starting to glitch out, and we cannot get into the controls of it because the display is gone out. So to replace the main circuit breaker is $2,154, and to replace the soft start is $5,870. But I didn't really have them together just to go.
What were the numbers you gave me for that first?
The soft start is the first one. The soft start is $58.70,
Okay.
and the circuit breaker is $2,154. 21.
All right. So that covered items 4 and 5 on the agenda. Next up, we're back to the resolution 2026-0401, property adjacent to City Hall. And so I've asked Brian Camp to come and speak to us about the property itself and the roads and a few other things, if you will, Brian. I'll go
Matt had just mentioned, come up here tonight, about talked to several of the council people over the past couple of years. We have the 2 lots across from North Valley on the corner, and I think there is some interest from the city to own those lots. And so we've kind of been holding those lots for the city until we could come up with some kind of agreement. And our proposal was, rather than swap money, we have several roads that one is disputed that we thought the city already owned, which was Jeffrey Wilson Drive. When we built that road, that was part of the rebate agreement that the city in that agreement was supposed to take the road. And then we found out years later that it was disputed. And then we've got some other roads that we need to either patch and turn them over to the city, or we can swap out services where either buy the lots and we fix the roads, or we donate the lots and y'all accept the roads. So, and I don't think there'll be any decisions made immediate, but I think this is an intro discussion, just to get things started to discuss.
Do you have any questions for Brian? Brian, how many roads do you have?
Probably 3 streets. The main drag, and then there's 2 side streets. The one over that's by the park is most of that road is in Oakville. I think the front 50 feet or 100 feet may be Margaret, but the rest of it's in Oakville. So it's really just 3 streets, man. And I think at Hunter's Crossing, all of that stuff was, everything over there is pretty much accepted. It's either the stuff we know that's not accepted that we need to redo, or the ones that, like Foggy Lane, that road was accepted. I don't think there's any question there, but Treetop Lane, which is off of Solar Shield, we need to figure out the ownership of that road. So, because that one's been out there for 2005, 2004. Most of those roads are taken in. I think it is, but I wasn't sure. So. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of roads out there that were so old where we were assuming they're city roads, and then we're just making sure that they were accepted. I know Phase 5 of Hunter's Crossing, all of those roads we still own. And that new one that we just paved that Sean and them built the houses on, I can't remember if that was officially accepted or not. It was repaved, and that was the last road we had discussions on a couple of years ago.
Brian, we touched on possibly a short-term lease or something where we could use the property next to the pharmacy. Right. And just want to see if you could touch on that for a second.
Yeah, we don't mind the city using that. We just need to make sure we have insurance coverage and probably some agreement that if the city wants to use it for a fall festival or something else, we just don't want to get sued if something happens. So we need just some way to lease and insurance or something for an event, just to make sure if somebody falls and breaks a leg, they don't sue us. So. And we don't even we're not asking for a dollar value on that. We just do it for $1. We just don't want to get sued.
And not to put you on the spot, but the road that cuts through from the back of,
Crossing the Summit Park, yes. We're trying to decide what to do with that. We would love to build some more estate houses off of Summit Park and tie that into Hunter's Crossing, and that would give the residents in the back of Hunter's Crossing a shortcut to Summit Park, and that would also give the fire department a shortcut to the back of Hunter's Crossing. But we just need to look at subdivision regulations and see what we're allowed to do there. Because obviously on big lots, we don't want to do curb and gutter, and we need to just get a plan together. And I know when we donated the lot to the city. We gave Margaret a lot for the fire department. We gave Odenville a lot for a water tank site. And the plan's always been that if we built that road, that Odenville would upgrade the water line from we would run a 6-inch. They would increase the size to an 8-inch and put a water tank to service all Hunter's Crossing and Summit Park. So that's still out there for discussion too.
Any more questions for Brian? Thank you so much, Brian.
Okay.
What's the cash price on what's happening with those 2 lots?
It's 270 for both of them.
270 total?
Yeah, it's like 2.5 acres, I think.
All right, so next thing on the work session agenda is the possibly revenue officer, economic development position. So we've budgeted a bit of money in economic development, and part of that comes with trying to find the opportunities for revenue, but also to build those opportunities when we can't find them. As I probably should ask Brian about, we discussed the plans for, just presented the plans for a possible town center across from the land that the minor mixed process method where the minor information project is about to take place. And so all of that, there are business opportunities and tax revenue opportunities and things that can bring revenue to the city, but also we have to look for all the revenue that we're missing, such as what we're doing with River Tree. I mean, like they're starting the process. So many more opportunities out there. So many more opportunities out there for us to pursue. And so, like this position kind of would tie into the back end of business permits, building licenses, and but also be actively pursuing new opportunities and working on grants for the economic development side. David has done a great job of pursuing grants for some fire department and the Parks and Rec, but we need someone to have a kind of a larger scope to look for opportunities to help build us, prepare a site, get engineered plans done, different things for economic development, not just for recreation and the fire department. But so just looking to use the money in the budget for the economic development to fill a slot, and this piece also ties into the software that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. But this would be a role that could work closely with all of us and keep everything posted, but also pursue things that need to be pursued. As we all get busy in life, we need someone that actually can follow up, do the paperwork, and make sure things are complete. So just trying to combine several opportunities and things that the city needs into a position so that we can move the city forward and go after funds to help fund the future. So, anyone else have any questions, thoughts, considerations? Okay. Moving right along, the Laserfish file scanning service that we discussed at the last meeting. So again, this was a proposal to come in and scan all the file ring equipment, our files, and then also put it into a software where we can search it and retrieve it and have it at hand. The initial software was around 15,000, and then the service to come in and scan it was, I believe, 14,491, with a total of 29,952 and 74 cents to come in and scan all of our documents, and then the 15 becomes a annual recurring fee for using the software, kind of like Unicode is for keeping track of your ordinances and resolutions. So any questions, concerns, or about the Laserfish and that software? I've looked at a couple other options, but have not gotten any feedback from them yet. All right. The next topic is the cloud permit software that we saw the demo of last week. The cloud permit was a little bit of a unique product because it covers multiple facets that the city needs help in, and it goes from community development to building permits, code enforcement, contractor registration, licensing, and even has a mobile app that for inspections and planning. But the real key, I think, is the public, the ability for the public to submit maintenance requests and work orders, so that and get active responses. So when something's done, they get an email notification that their work order has been completed, and they can snap a picture and upload it right then and there. And so, again, the pricing for this was $15,000 a year, with an implementation cost of $6,000 to come in and help set it up, get everything configured and trained. And then, so the first year would be $21,000, and then they have a 5-year contract. It would be second year would be 15,600, third year would be 16,000, year 4 would be 16,800, and then year 5 would be at 17,000. And so this is just one of those decisions that affects both the city hall and the public, and it makes things more visible to the public about what's going on in here, and gives them some more visibility into the work that's being done here. So again, I'm just trying to make it easier for the residents, builders, and staff to be informed, but to make sure everyone's comfortable with the software and the annual cost. Any questions about this or concerns about the software? And just as a reminder, it actually tied into the GIS program, and so that you could click on a house and see if they have the building permits, if you're you know, they're building a new back porch, do they go through the proper channels to get it done? And are the contractors licensed and certified? Because generally speaking, when you have work done at your house, you hire a contractor. That contractor is supposed to come and pay their business license and get a building permit. And so all those things can lead to lost revenue for the city and for the residents. So if there are no questions about that, move on to the fire department updates. Rick.
Right. Good evening. Call volume for the month of May was 56 calls, bringing the total this year up to 308. At this point, we've performed numerous ALS interventions, utilizing equipment and medication that protocols and scope of practice requires. We've actually achieved Roskin Field, which is a return of spontaneous circulation. Unfortunately, the outcome wasn't what we wanted, but achieving Roskin is the first step in saving my life. And so we're doing the work. The response times are about 8.5 minutes right now. That average is kind of thrown off considering the highest rate, highest call volume in the city is Visible Road, Brookhaven area. That's the longest response times. If you were to if you take those out of the equation, that would be a new station territory. Then the response time is probably around 4 or 5 minutes. I don't have the math done, but it's because of the high call volume in that side of town. It's nice to have a good average below double digits. Some bad news, I guess. Just last night, we had a firefighter involved in a crash in one of our service trucks. He was responding to a call, and it was wet roads. He hit a slick spot on a real bad curve. Unfortunately, he bounced off one tree and was thrown into the ditch. Thankfully, he was not injured. Unfortunately, during the evaluation, and I've gotten permission from him to share this, some potential health issues were found that had not yet presented themselves with symptoms. A cyst was found in his brain, and a 2-centimeter mass was found in his thyroid. While we're thankful he wasn't hurt, these findings have us all concerned for our brother, Lieutenant Chancellor. We're hoping that these findings, since they're early in the game, will mean that this accident was a blessing in disguise. Thankfully, the vehicle's insured, so I'm much more concerned with my firefighter than I am trucks. Another item, I hope to move forward tonight. I shared last meeting and with email the proposal for repairing one engine while selling 2 of the out-of-service engines as is. That's still my proposal, and like I said, we move forward with that. I also want to revisit 3 previous items. I mentioned them during email. They were brought to council already as one. I do want to make mention that especially one of them is of utmost, I think, importance to reevaluate. So I sent y'all emails trying to answer any questions you may have about my proposed items that were voted down. Approving the interim officers as officers, approving the preliminary pay scale for the department, approving the fire department amendment to the handbook addressing schedule and PTO accrual. In one email I sent you guys, I listed out a question. I tried to answer a question as to how I came about this position. I also tried to inform you of the interim officers that are in position now. How they got there, why they should be there. Also suggested that you take another look at the pay scale, that it's a fair and conservative pay scale. And I really want you to look at the amendment, the firefighter amendment to the handbook. Without that amendment, I think we're at risk of significant overtime costs, reduced flexibility for sick vacation leave due to accrual not matching the shift schedule. If you have questions about that, as I've said a few times, if you have questions about any of this stuff, please reach out and ask, and I'll explain it to you. All right, if I don't have the answers you want right then, I will get them. They're in your email. Every week I send them on Thursday afternoon. Please, if you have questions, feel free to ask me. Any questions about any of this?
Yeah, do you have a report for us, like the police department you presented? Do you have a report to present to the council?
I sent an email.
Huh?
Mine doesn't like that, but I sent you information email.
You sent it today?
So Thursday.
You want the report?
I send it every week. It doesn't look like that, but if you'll tell me what information you want, I'll make sure it's on there.
We requested numerous times in the meeting, but we'll send it to you again.
I'll pull up the email right here.
Can you pull up the minutes for those meetings?
Well, no, I'll pull up the email, it's fine.
Yes. Certainly. He's out of the hospital. He just went to be evaluated. Found the stuff last night. He's at home. He's okay as far as the accident goes, and we will be looking at testing and the results. Yes, ma'am, sure. Thank you.
So, also, the thing that, on that call, we're responding to the mutual aid to Ogle, which I think is a really important thing. I mean, I'm just so glad that we're in a position where we can finally get back to our neighboring communities. And I mean, it's just a shame with all the rain in Summit Park and that area, it's pretty nasty. But just makes me feel real good as a representative of the city that we're giving back to the neighbors who've helped us so many times before in the past. So this was the last email from 528 where he talks about the information from the last few weeks he sent. But as you said, he's sending weekly emails.
Yeah, if there's specific information you want the emails, I will gladly get that information. Just tell me what it is.
Are there reports on there too?
It's,
No, it's not. Okay.
What
So
report do you
Councilman Ray
want?
wants to know how many calls you're running, what they are, what your response time is.
Everything you just told us right there, you said you sent an email, I just stated it's not.
I didn't know that's what we wanted. Apologize for that. From now on, I'll make sure it's in there.
That's good.
so also the, to add a little more detail to the amendment to the fire department. Basically, our handbook has an opening for every department to add department-specific changes to their handbook. In this case, in the fire department, they're handling Kelly days, transitions, different things that differ about the fire department than from every other department. And so while their policies are doing now, they're not official policies. And so that addendum is just, the fire department specific.
So people often don't realize that most conventional jobs work 40 hours. Firefighters will get paid, ours get paid 104 hours every 2 weeks. And without that amendment, we'd be paying 24 hours of overtime every paycheck. So that amendment allows for a 10-shift Kelly cycle, or Kelly day a month. It will allow for proper accrual of time vacation, or for sick leave and vacation. And it will make the amendment where we're not paying a tremendous amount of overtime.
So they're currently on Kelly system, correct now?
Yes, sir.
So basically, the Kelly days are covered, so it just accrues the PTO time. So the amendment just covers the PTO time. Y'all are already doing Kelly days.
PTO and the overtime issue.
Overtime will be eliminated from Kelly days.
Not completely,
How's that?
because even with the Kelly days, it's still 104 hours per pay period.
And the document is codifying the Kelly days as a process of the city and a process of the fire department. It's taking something that they're doing, making it an official process that's back and free.
Yes.
It's also a lot of those there.
Sorry.
Correct. All right. Any other questions for Brett? Thanks, sir. Those response times at the station and apparatus are super important. And moving on to the next topic on the agenda, we have Juneteenth event and the 4th of July planning. So there's some upcoming events. And Margaret, would you like to speak to the Juneteenth?
I can. myself, David, and Attorney had a conference call this morning. We have a discussion some of the things that we do at the time. So we all be that Friday, I don't know if people are saying, well, that's my word, they have a chance to be able to come out and enjoy some festivities. We'll, provide hot dogs, chips, water, juice, some activities for the kids. We, hopefully we'll have some vendors, but due to us planning it at such a short notice, some of the vendors who reached out to are already considered for Juneteenth. So we're trying to look at vendors out, some entertainment, for the adults as well. So we're just waiting on some people to come.
Then shortly thereafter, we'll be having the 4th of July event. As I mentioned in the email and a couple of posts I've made, pursued a small grant to help with advertising and everything for the event, in lieu of celebrating the 250th signing of the Declaration of Independence. And so, council, you guys have a challenge coin that was funded through that grant, and we're going to be buying the banners for the event and doing some signage about the signing of the Declaration and creating placards. We're hoping to do a fundraiser for a 5K fundraiser for the event with the first responders from Margaret and from outside Margaret if we can, and just looking for different ways to raise funds for the departments, and those will be hopefully have 250th celebration motifs on the bibs for the runners, and but along with that, we need to look at what's left, which would be the fireworks show and festivities. I've touched base with several other mayors around, and basically the majority of the cities do run the fireworks show themselves. And I think Erskine told me that basically the liability is the same whether you hire someone or do it yourself if someone gets hurt in the event of a fireworks show. And so just looking to see hopefully at the next council meeting how much the council is willing to spend on fireworks and food and festivities for the 4th of July event, as well as we just in time for the Juneteenth event. Yeah.
So before we move on, you said that there was a grant for 4th of July.
It's a 250th celebration grant, and so it's surrounding the 4th of July event, and it's about that. I can never say the word, but the 250th celebration of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And so it's just intended to be an informational grant so that you can put information out there about one your city and also the signing of the Declaration.
Just curious,
Mhm.
is this Margaret's, the city of Margaret's first year celebrating?
Probably celebrating it, yeah. Which, like we've had it as a holiday because the state made it a holiday.
And it's important.
It is, absolutely.
But I'm saying it should be posted about the 14th.
I've not posted about either of them yet. I was waiting for this so we can say it publicly in a meeting, and then we'll post and advertise.
I should have applied to you.
Okay, thank you. And any questions or comments about the Juneteenth or the 4th of July events?
Right now, we just have
All right. That, we're approaching the public comment, and nobody signed up for this week, but Harvey from the Quarter from Progressive Partners had a few things and opportunities you want to talk to us about.
Yes, sir.
Harvey, you would.
Yes, sir. Probably have to come that way to show you a few things. I talk loud anyway, so I think everybody will be able to hear me. But one of the things is that, James, you'll remember the first time I ever spoke at a city council meeting was at the top of School Street. I don't remember the name up there, the old building. And James was talking about developers and getting after me a little bit. I told him, just give me time, and try to prove myself what we're going to do. But in the course of the last almost 7 years, that I've been coming back and forth over here, we have just finished developing 628 lots now. We just finished phase 13 over at Brookhaven, and during that time, I guess almost all the money has been achieved, but during that time, for all those lots, there's been a total amount of $3 million that went directly to the city as a result of that development. And an additional $500,000 was spent on road repairs and the water line that we ran from the water tank through part of Active Meadows, up the railroad track into the back entrance of Brookhaven. So $3.5 million has been spent, which I said $3 million roughly went directly to the city as a result of all that. But I stand here tonight just to give you an update because I was talking to Matt and thought it'd be good just to let you guys know what's going on. But probably we're about to start our last, working on our next and last development because we have 347 acres left in Brookhaven. Some of that is not very buildable, I'll say, a lot of ravines and stuff. So we are looking at doing a development over there. And I just wanted to mention a couple things about that. What we want to do, of course, I read all the subdivision regs and the master, want to do a master plat, I should say. And from that, then we'll have releases against that, similar to what Tyler Davis has shown you before from Edelman Property, Sterling Place, Sterling Road. So that's how we're going to do that. And we're planning to develop the area where we'll finish out Brookhaven Drive. In addition to that, create a second entrance there as well. So I'll just quickly show you from on the tax map here. I think I can show you that what we're talking about. So, everybody see this okay? This is Brookhaven Drive, right here. This is phase 11, sector 2. There's 46 platted lots there already. So what our goal is to finish this out, have an area here, 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 and here. So there'll be, that's sector 2, sector 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're looking at a potential of approximately 400 more lots. And we're looking at different options right now. So like a planned residential development, that would be a combination of different lot sizes. And then within that combination of lot sizes, there would be different products that would be built on those lots. Even in some of the, I'll say a smaller lot, the house may be larger because it's going to be a deeper lot. So it's going to be larger. The other thing too is right now, Old Acton Road, I know y'all talked about that, and I've got a little drawing of that I'll show you in a minute that Matt gave me. But taking Old Acton Road and doing away with the way it is now over here after it crosses the railroad track because of the curve, the line curve, and everything else. So we're looking at, and our engineer is working on that for the city, incorporating that in with our development that we're doing. And so what we'll do is we'll come out farther when you come across the railroad track, more like this into an area and then straighten out the road that goes to Brookhaven, Stevens Cove, on back toward Moody. So we'll straighten all that out so there won't be those line curves. In addition to that, now you've got 2 entrances back there. So the first thing we would like to do from a development standpoint is to finish Brookhaven Drive, which gives all the residents access to get to Old Acton Road without having to go all the way back to Sandy Road every time. And this area right below it here that butts up to Stevens Cove would be, we would go ahead and do the grading work and everything on that all at the same time. That way, when that is finished, we'll use the other entrance as the construction entrance, and we won't have to touch Brookhaven Drive again. It'll be finished. So it'll be open to everybody to be able to use. And in addition to that, I'm going to show you the way this road will look. Pardon me while I'm throwing things around. So this is the drawing that was initially done by Keith Hager for the city. So this is what's talking about the old road here. All that curve and stuff would be taken out. It'd be more like this. Where it comes in and comes across. And the other thing too is this is the 3 acres that we gave the city about 5 years ago. And I mentioned this to Matt because in order to do this and move that road, we would like to request with everything that we're doing that the city give us that 3 acres back, and I'll tell you why. What we want to do is with this other land here that we own, because like I said, we split that, we are wanting to put a commercial space there. We are already having conversation with Dollar General and Dollar General Market because we know that one of the guys that builds for those. And we've been talking to him about building that. Our next conversation is going to be with Subway and Jersey Mike's about putting a sandwich shop over there too. So our goal is to almost right out the end of Brookhaven, turn slightly left, back right, go into that area. So that would, like I said, have at least those two commercial things. We're gonna see if there's something else we can include in there. So what we're doing on that little over 6 acres, if you give that back to us, we're gonna use almost 5 acres of the 6 to put commercial space. That's our goal. And I think that would be, not only just for Brookhaven, but you've got Sterling Road, Sterling Place, Richfield across Sadie Road, you got all the people on Ackley Road, so there'd be a lot of people be able to go there. You don't have to drive all the way back to 411, go to Moody, go to Odeville, Argo, or Trussville, or whatever. You have, somewhere to buy some groceries, get a sandwich, go deliver, whatever, so all of that kind of stuff. So that's what we're wanting to do. And so I don't want to come before you tonight just to give you an idea of that, because I know in the subdivision regs, it talks about, 21 days, we'll give you 3 hard copies of everything, plus electronic version of everything. So we want to get all that done. Our goal will be to present that at the July 20th meeting. I'm not sure we can have it all finished by then, so it may be August, but that's our goal. We're going to be pushing for that. The other thing that we are trying to do is by doing all this, is create a lot of green space. So between some of the sections there that are off of Brookhaven Drive, that will use that, predominantly use that other entrance, there's going to be green space, trees in between different areas and stuff. So I think that's going to look good too, and add something to that part of the neighborhood. And then one other thing too is the amenities. So we're looking at another pool, a pavilion with restrooms and changing areas, and probably some kind of combination basketball court, tennis court type thing. I know pickleball is a big thing now, so whatever they can use it for, doing something like that. Let's see if there's anything else. But as I said, the main thing is trying to get that commercial space, that second entrance over there, all this incorporated into the plans. I'm meeting with our engineer again in the morning, so we're still working on this, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that we can achieve that July the 20th date. So I guess that's all from my standpoint on that. I've got one other thing to talk to you about, but do you have any questions about what we're doing or recommendation or anything else?
I have a few recommendations.
Yes, sir.
I think it's a great idea. Everything sounds so fabulous. Except for traffic. I think we need turn lanes on both entrances.
Well, I'll tell y'all about that too. I work with the county. So we had to do a traffic study for Ridgefield. When we did all that over there, I'm sure we'll have to do a traffic study if it's going to increase the flow, but with those 2 entrances on the backside, I'm not so sure that it will require one. But I do that. That's one of the things we always do with Dan. And I know Dan was planning on retiring at the end of this year, but I work with the county engineer every time on that.
So our county commissioner, talking with him, he's working with all these new developments. Supposedly, he's going to have turn lanes on all county roads. In traffic situations.
Yes. Like I said, we had to do a traffic study. It cost us, I think, $6,000 or $7,000 to do a traffic study for Ridgefield, and then passed and said we didn't need a turn lane. So, but nonetheless, we don't mind doing it. It's the right thing to do. And
It's money, right?
If it requires one,
Just money, right?
it's just money. If it requires one, we'll put one there. But we will go through that. I promise that's one of the things that we always have to do as part of our due diligence. I'd like to know about that, just to keep it on the forefront.
We spoke to Dan and Clay about that. It's just next week about all the different opportunities and things that the county's working on. And now, granted, they're attempting to, when it's a new development, they're getting the developer putting the turn lanes up front on the county road. Obviously, in this case, this is the back of the road, other than Sterling Grove. That's not Brookhaven Development Partners. But it's just it's just part of the subdivision regulation conversation, but at the same time, it's, the county is talking about adding turn lanes to Sadie in hindsight, but it's gonna be the county's cost, not the developer's cost. And so now they are getting a little bit squirrely on the dates and times and timeframes for all these things, but during the Alabama Power conversations, that was one of the big things that they used as a defense, is that, hey, we're about to add turn lanes, we need to make sure these poles are not in place where turn lanes are gonna be, or start in place for Brookhaven, for Richfield, and some others. But on top of that, I'm waiting to get the plans about them moving the road here. So they're doing an Apple study through the Regional Planning Commission about the intersection between 6 and 12. I think I've mentioned it a time or two before, where they're basically going to take that curve out and make it more of a clean intersection with turn lanes on both sides. One going right on 12 and right on 12, and the other one turn lane off of 12 on the 6. But what it's going to do is they're going to move it from the other side of the telephone pole up here and onto the property that we already own, and come straight down to Woodland Ridge. What they've mentioned, the turn lane is supposed to come all the way down to Woodland Ridge, and so basically it's like a merging lane, and then a turn lane going down 12. Dan said as soon as go play would be handling it, but as soon as they have the drawing ready to present, they'll present it. But that's going to eat into some of the real estate we've recently purchased, but I mean, it's well needed and long overdue.
Well, and one other thing too, I remember a lot of discussion about building setback, because everybody drives SUVs, four-door pickup trucks and everything, so we're looking at a 20 to 30-foot building setback past the right way. So there'll be a lot more room, so hopefully you won't have two vehicles sitting there where your front end's touching the street and your back end's touching the garage door. Our goal is to increase that as well. We're looking at doing that. And the other, let's see, I guess that's pretty much everything there. I did want to talk about the water situation in the water tank for a minute. I know Matt had approached me, and even going back to Daryl and I had conversations about it. Isaac had conversations about it with me. But, you know, we own the land and the lots, several lots on Dust Ridge Road, right next to and adjacent to the existing water tank. So they asked about purchasing some of that land. At the end of Dust Ridge Road, acres, plus the last 3 lots on each side of the street, because I think Keith had mentioned to Matt that one of the lots there closest to the existing water tank was flat, was a good area to put another tank. It's already there where we connected to run that 2,000 feet of water line up to the back of Brookhaven. So I just wanted to throw that out there as far as doing it, because the city is growing. And whether you have water capacity right this minute, you've got to plan for the future. And I'm not saying that because it's our land. I mean, we're trying to make sure we work out a deal with you guys. And in lieu of cash, we're talking about swapping water taps, because we got a builder that just, you know, they're still building in Brookhaven, so we can turn around and sell them the water tap. We're not going to try to make any money off of it. We would sell it for the same price that the city sells it. So that's not an issue there. But what we're doing is trading taps in lieu of cash, and at the same time, we're giving you about a 50% discount off the cost of what we can sell those lots in that land for compared to what we're giving it to the city. Those lots in that land is worth about $190,000, and we're talking just over $90,000 when you get $94,000 to the city. So like I said, roughly 50% of that. But it's 7.9 acres and 6 lots. Now, if I remember correctly, those lots are around 75 to 85 feet wide, 135, 140 feet deep, in that range. So I want to throw that out there because I know how it is. My hometown is going through a tremendous amount of growth. I was telling Matt earlier tonight, we have, in the county and the city, we have 4 high schools, 11 elementary schools, and 4 middle schools. Cartersville City School has 4,700 students in pre-K through 12, just the city school. And we're growing like crazy. Streets, infrastructure going in. And I don't know what's happening, where everybody's coming from all the time. I guess people moving farther out of Atlanta. They're even putting a bypass around part of our city now to connect it to the west side of town and other areas because of the traffic. But Margaret's a great place. Everybody I talk to wants to come to Margaret. I mean, it's still really growing. There's a lot of opportunity here. Several builders, not even in developers, not even people that I've talked to, tell me that so-and-so looking for lots. So-and-so is quoting a development job. You know, like I said, I don't even know where some of the people are that are doing this, but Margaret's growing. So, like I said, whether it's with us or you put the tower somewhere else the same, I think you just got to plan for the future. You've got to be proactive and look ahead because it's going to continue to grow. Any questions?
Well, it's not gonna be popular. What you're talking about the swimming pool and the pickleball pool, so that really don't affect much of Margaret unless you're living in that subdivision. You're not gonna benefit from that. Well, most of the people in Margaret won't get a benefit.
Well, but the city can do something about it. And with some of that money, it's like the road improvement fee. Just what we've done has given the city $785,000 in road improvement fees. So if the city would use their money wisely, you've got a budget, and you can look at your spending, prioritize. You can put in a junior Olympic-sized pool or whatever she's talking about. The city doesn't benefit. We have 2 pools now in our neighborhood because we're growing. When I moved into my neighborhood, there was 215, 20 houses. Now there's between 450 and 500. So they put in a separate pool. But you know, you can build a pool.
Well, the flip side of that is having the conversation and talking to those communities. We are at least giving those communities and helping the conversation to get the communities to the people who are going to live in the new houses, which is something that's been missed for a long time. We've had a lot of new houses go up without any amenities, and no one's having the conversations. But the retail property is a big deal. The Harvey's paying for the engineering for the road and the process to move there, so he's saving us some money from our engineering costing for the grant to actually relocate the road to be safer, more visible. And so there is stuff that is benefiting the city because one of the things that's becoming more and more apparent is that people are discovering and using Old Acton Road, and it's becoming a problem. I mean, it is a absolute washout continually, and until we can fix the water, redirect the road to get rid of the blind curves, like it's going to continue to be an issue. And so, like, while the amenities may not help the city, this does help the city because, like, as more and more people try to go out through 11 and 411, more and more people are starting to flow out this way, which is going to be a problem because that road is not intended for heavy traffic. But if we can do something to make it better, it helps. And so, you know, he is giving up some of the property here to put in the road, and then going to build the the retail section there, which do benefit the whole city as tax revenue and safety in the roads. So while the amenities may not help, there are positive trade-offs.
It's actually going to create a bigger crossing because right past Stevens Cove, that road shifts from one lane. 2 full-size vehicles can't get down that road at the same time. While the trees on. The cattle farms. And that's actually out of our control as a city because that's actually moving some limits.
It's not out of our control though to have a conversation with the county, which is what we started doing with Dan and Clay last week, about like doing something about Old Acton all the way out to Moody. And so we talk to Dan and Clay because it's part of it is county, the county maintains it, and then it goes into Moody. And so we'll continue the conversation with Moody once we have the county on board on doing something about making Old Acton safer all the way through.
Plan at one time. Had to run through the valley. And all that curve out on the Florida. That concrete to the south and everything's kind of go out of place. There's no right of way. Up there where the road's narrow, that's not so narrow. It's a black spin goes right up to the road. There's no right of way. The county or no one has right of way. The road is just what it is.
I just know
There wasn't clear at one time.
I just heard several, residents talk about going that direction. And I went through part of that one time, and I knew it got, very narrow. But I don't know what people do, if they need another car or whatever, but they're using that direction. Yeah, no matter what. Yeah. All right.
One thing to note, and it's part of why I actually brought up this image, essentially that being another 400 homes here will put the one subdivision at 1,350 homes. So that's going to be more homes in one subdivision than the city had in population just 20 years ago. Again, without zoning, without restrictions, there's very little we can do to control the growth, and so it's coming. But then, not just these 400, but Sterling Grove, right? We have another 200 to 300 more homes coming in Sterling Grove. So just between the railroad and Brookhaven and Sterling Place, we're looking at another 700 homes in the next 5 to 10 years. And so, talk about traffic, that's why we have to plan 10 years out. And again, when we talk about water tower, yes, maybe you ought to have two next to each other, but when you're adding that many more homes in proximity to the water tower and the high ground, those are the things that we have to take into consideration, because until there is zoning or something, nothing's going to change with the growth, and when it's platted, it's platted. And so we have to plan for that. I mean, like, what are we going to do? How are we going to make Old Acton even for the home park more safe, right? How are you going to make it more safe going out towards the city limits? Those are all conversations we need to be having. While we can say they're outside of our control, they're not, because the conversations can be had, the plans can be made. And I've heard about a lot of plans in the past, but I've never seen blueprints. I've never seen anything in writing for these plans. Just like the moving Old Acton and changing it the way we are now. I've heard about that from 4 different people, but I've never seen the first thing in writing. And spoke to the county engineers, and they said they mentioned it one time and someone ran with it. There was never any follow-up. So it's our job to basically to follow through, follow up, and make sure these things get done, and they're planned for the growth that's inevitable. But yeah, so that's just here. You also have the 165 homes that are going in Smith Farms, and then not to mention LaJoy's Margaret estates that are going on the other side of town. So the community continues to grow at an unprecedented rate, and we've got to be thinking not just 5 years out, but 10 years out.
Thank y'all very much.
So, council, have anything before we move on to adjourn the work session? All right. We'll adjourn the work session, and take a few minutes, a 9-minute break. We'll reconvene at 17 for the regular work session. Regular council meeting.
See you. Appreciate that. I think it would help. Maybe.
The AC said.
Maybe.
68. Bump it up.
Put a little money back.
Yeah.
You gotta open it. I didn't share it.
There you go.
Don't kill mine. Yeah, he was, it's not on his mind, it's on his mind, So, yeah.
What a precious day, though.
She was gonna sign down one more, but well, she can't get set down. He said,
Oh, you know what's my name? I said, I was late.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Serve it out to somebody.
I told her I could go anyway. She didn't want it. She could tell me. She said she doesn't want
Pretty decent.
All right. Oh, did you? You struck right in the picture.
Good evening, everyone. I'll go ahead and call the regular meeting of the Margaret City Council for Monday, June 1st, 2026 to order. Time is 7:09. We'll start this with the opening prayer. Mr. Marker, if you would lead us in prayer.
Father, we come before you again tonight, thank you, praise you for who you are, thank you for loving and taking care of us. Also, I want to thank you for this nation that you've given us that we call home, pray for our leaders, especially our president, his advisors, and we just pray that for this mayor and council also, please you give them the wisdom and direction that you have us to go for asking in Christ's name.
Remain standing for the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilperson Chapman? Here. Councilperson Bell? Present. Councilperson McIntosh? Here. Councilperson Davis? Here. Mayor Pro Tem Ray? Mayor Turner?
Here. All right, thank you. All right, we'll move into city business, and so agenda item number 1 is the public works repair quotes from Southern Pipe and Supply that Todd presented during the work session. We're looking for 200 water meters and 200 nods for the AMR system, and with a total of $75,640. Is there a council ready to entertain a motion?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm making a motion to buy the meters, we gotta have them.
Okay, Councilman Chapman makes the motion to purchase the meters, and Councilman Smith Davis seconds the motion. Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman?
Yes.
Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntosh?
Yes.
Councilperson Davis? Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Yes.
Mayor Turner?
Yes. All right, motion passes unanimous. Agenda item number 2 is the public works repair quote for the pump and process equipment on the Argo at the lift station. The quote included 2 different for roughly $8,000, $5,800 for the electrical, and then what was it, $2,000 for the other. So, you want to speak to it? You can speak to it, like, so 5,800 was the.
800 for the soft start, and 2154 is for the main breaker.
The breaker. Okay. All right. Looking for any motions for this repair.
Let's have them make money.
Yep. Councilwoman Smith Davis makes the motion to the full both items. Okay. All right. Councilwoman Bell seconds it. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman? Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntosh? Councilperson Davis? Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Ray? Mayor Turner?
Yes. Thank you. Agenda item number 3, resolution 2026-401, the acquisition of the property adjacent to City Hall. We've previously been presented with the estimates for the road repairs and heard from Brian about the estimated value of the property. So again, the resolution just authorizes the negotiation and execution of the documents to acquire the property for City Hall, so that we'll control the land all around us and have property that could be used for future commercial. So looking to see if we have a motion about this resolution.
we have some, clients interested in coming.
So
Usually we don't purchase property until we know we've got a client interested in coming, therefore we guarantee a spot.
we were sent the grocery study 2 or 3 months ago that the EDC had done for the city, and it identified that lot as a potential location for up to a 25,000 square foot grocery store. And there is a potential grocer that's shopping Springville and many of the surrounding cities, including us, Argo, Asheville, Ragland. And so to have the property and be ready to strike is one step in the right direction, because Argo doesn't have the property. And so that they're looking to do main store in Springville, and then a satellite store either in the actual area or the, actually 2 satellite stores, one in the actual, or either in actual or Ragland, and one either in Argo or Margaret. And so don't have the name of the company, but it's an opportunity, and like we purchased the 5 acres on this side of us for a much higher price. Correct. He said the lots were estimated at 270, but the repair cost of the roads are right at 200,000 for the, but they all don't have to be repaired in 1 year either. So there's no time frame. It's our discretion once we accept the roads.
The cost of repair of the roads is a lot more than $200,000.
We've gotten the quotes, and we were presented last council meeting. Mr. Barker got the quotes from Massey, who's our contracted asphalt repair vendor. So if we don't, we could negotiate purchasing it for a price if that's what the direction council chooses to go. But
All the roads were brought up to the current specs with curb and gutter and everything else for our subdivision rules and regulations.
The road has pre-existed the subdivision regs, and so the only one that has the curb and gutter is Jeffrey Wilson Drive, but it needs the most work to actually.
So it's a potential that there's some drainage issues that we can be accepting as well. Know what you're saying?
That's what you're stating, but it's a possibility.
So they're not up to our current rules and regs. Correct?
That's what I said. Would the council like to take any action on this agenda item? The roads or the land is the land from here to County Road 6. And so it would put us in control of the land that completely surrounds City Hall, and so that we could develop it to specifications. Similar to the water treatment plant, there's some form of lost opportunity here if we don't take action on this and someone else picks up the property and we have no control over what's being built right next to us.
We can still purchase the property.
That was proposed.
If we wanted to do like a cash purchase.
He mentioned 270, but we haven't started negotiating. So again, the resolution is about acquiring the property, but we can negotiate it however we it authorizes the negotiation and execution, and this was just the preliminary conversations for the acceptance of the roads. But if you want to pass the resolution, ask that I negotiate and get the lowest price we can, and then council, we can take that approach. So the resolution is authorizing the negotiation and execution of purchase of that property. So it could be either the trading of these properties or just paying the cash price. And so we could go back and negotiate, get a sale price and present that back to council. Or however you would like me to negotiate and try to execute this. Also, at the end of the day, though, at some point, these roads are going to come, or want to be accepted as well, so just some trade out there. So about whether you can cash now or cash later. Okay, all right. Cash? Okay. Okay. Okay, is that your motion?
Yes,
Motion for what?
I'm gonna go back to negotiating, but cash price, because you just want something to be, either was a cash price for it or actually trade out.
So you're not making a motion to pass this resolution?
No.
Well, the resolution authorizes the negotiation,
Right.
and then I would bring it back.
Actually, the resolution says, road acceptances as part of the agreement, as part of the acquisition, the agreement may include an acceptance into the city of Margaret of the following roadways. So actually, you're incorrect.
Does it say may
It
include?
verbalizes correctly, Foxtrot Lane, Jeffrey Wilson Drive, Magnolia Crest Court, Magnolia Crest Lane, Magnolia Crest Way, the city of Margaret portion of Magnolia Lake Court. Acceptance of said roadway shall be conditioned upon confirmation that the roads meet city standards and are otherwise acceptable as a part of the negotiated agreement. So negotiating is, you pass this you're making a motion to pass this resolution includes accepting all these roads, as clearly stated.
If you let someone finish their conversation, she's making the modification to the resolution to go back and get a cash price and bring it back. So you can pass
That's
it.
not what you stated, that's not what you stated.
You interrupted and didn't let me finish my statement. So if you please maintain decorum. All right, so would you like to restate your motion?
So my motion is for you to go back and negotiate a cash price.
Okay.
To see if it would be beneficial for us to either pay a cash price for it or, do the trade off. We already know what the price is for the acres, but I want to know what the cash price is.
Okay, Councilwoman Bell makes a motion to renegotiate the cash price and present the cash price alongside the road acceptance. Councilwoman Samantha Davis seconds that motion. Any more discussion?
Oh, I'll read this to you one more time. A resolution authorizing the mayor to negotiate and execute an agreement for the acquisition of property adjacent to City Hall, including related road acceptances. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Margaret as follows. So you're basically stating you're including the road acceptances. So let's be clear when we tell people what they're voting on. It clearly states it right here in this resolution.
I had Ms. Bell.
The motion is to go back and renegotiate,
It's her motion, had nothing to,
not to approve the resolution.
He said to approve the resolution in the beginning.
But Councilwoman Bell's
Right.
motion is.
Let me make sure we're
to go
clear.
back and renegotiate.
Let me make sure we're clear.
Okay, so the resolution is off the table now.
Y'all aren't voting on the
No,
resolution.
on the resolution.
Correct.
That's off the table.
Yes.
Let me make sure we're clear on that.
all right, any more discussion? All right, more discussion, roll call.
Councilperson Chapman? Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilperson Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray? Mayor Clarice?
Yes. Okay, it's order of business. The revenue officer and economic development position, so, again, you guys got a job description in the packet that describes the position and responsible, position and responsibility for economic development, grant development, and municipal revenue enhancement. And, so the position would support a lot of the economic development, initiatives and, pursue the revenue that's been left on the table and that, the city's missing out on. So again, this is just about building the capacity for the city to be able to properly manage, our processes and, just need to look for someone who wants some opportunities, tracking, wants to track grants, help us manage the growth, and help the city identify the revenue that helps support the growth at the same time. Is there any additional discussion from council?
Well, I thought that's what we have hired David for, and we are trying to be top heavy. We're going to create all these new positions for all these people, different people. We're a small town. I don't think we can do the positions that we have. I mean, we still don't have a city clerk.
So,
I would like us to go back before we do another position.
well, I mean, I hear you. And the point is the need is there. I mean, there's need all through to have that objective. And David's primary focus is Parks and Rec, and he's just helping with the grants as part of that, and helping with the events and everything else. But like there's only so much time for him to focus on, like he can't focus on economic development and all the other grant programs at the same time. So his scope is Parks and Rec, and he's helping with the grants, and he's doing more than originally intended there, and it's appreciated. But this is more of a larger scale focus on economic development opportunities. Let's say we do purchase the property, then we want to try to build a building and look for opportunities to like develop out that property or clear the land to show people that it is available. Because as a city, we own quite a bit of property that's like just sitting undeveloped. Like we,
I just don't think it's not right now. We need to.
no,
That's just my take. I don't know about anybody else. I just think that we need to focus on the more important positions right now, and that's the city clerk.
Okay.
And we can circle back around for that. Not saying that we don't need one, but I just think that we need to fill the positions that we have now that has not been filled.
Would you think the company that we hired to go and look for all the money that, maybe it's saying, like, to see what they come back with? And
That's what I'm like.
that would be, to see what potentially that person would be required to upkeep from there. Is it something like we should postpone this?
Yeah, I think
the main component is having the ability to address the needs at hand. There's only so much I can focus on, and it's a specialized position. And I will say that it also caters into the side of business licenses and everything else. So like following up with that, making sure those are done efficiently. So I mean, it's not just one job. And to your point about being top heavy, it's a matter of trying to take 2 to 3 different positions and trying to get them started and get them growing. But I mean, I hear you. Any other discussion or concerns?
I agree with Martrice. I mean, we're really top heavy. I mean, we do, I just saw it, and we're still waiting on financials to actually see what we really spent. I mean, we still haven't, but that's something. But I mean, there's still, I mean, I see we're in consulting firms, and like we hired all these firms to come in and do all this stuff. I don't remember that come across this table with us, giving suggestions on that. I mean, we're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. So we're paying people that we don't even know we're paying. And so I think it's, this next budget cycle, there's a lot that's gotta be analyzed. And a lot of periods that's gotta be put. And the frivolous spending's gotta come to a halt. I mean, if we're gonna have any money to do anything else moving forward. So it's, I think it's definitely maybe a discussion for maybe the next budget cycle, but we're 3 months from there, so it's kind of quick to just jump the curve, right now, and just say, ooh, this is something we need to do like tomorrow. So it's, I think a city clerk's a lot more beneficial at this point. Somebody that needs to take that position and move us forward. I mean, actually, we still looking for a police chief and a public works director. I mean, you put people in those positions, and the city ordinance states you don't have the legal authority to do that. So we're trying to fill 3 positions right now at one time, and we haven't even permanently filled yet. So, 3 months before budget cycle, that's sure a lot to jump into.
So I'm curious. You mentioned looking at financials that you don't have. So what's the truth? Let's talk about the.
So that's the bank statements that we've asked for numerous times that you still have.
I think this is on topic.
It is.
Agreed. But let's be real about what we're doing and what our responsibilities are.
Being real, we haven't.
I didn't interrupt you. I'm talking. Let's be very real about what our responsibilities are. we can't read emails, if we can't look at the financials that we're given, if we can't do our responsibilities and talk about things and talk through things, then what's the point? You say we're top heavy, but you're not here on the day-to-day to see what we're actually doing and what we're going through. You just want to demand that you get something and expect to get it, but you don't know what it takes to get there. I've tried putting it out there, putting the information out there. I've tried presenting the facts, but like, you know, you're up here stating things that are clearly not true, contradicting yourself in the very statement that you're saying, and like, but you don't know the reality of how the city operates and what's going on. So, I mean, you're stating ordinances that you don't even know how came to fruition, much less whether they're legal or not. And so we've got a responsibility to handle, and we got to figure out how to do it. And it starts by having conversations like this. But at the same time, we have to be truthful with ourselves and with the reality. And like, don't come and say what you think you know without asking the question beforehand, because I can maybe help educate you and explain to you the topics and the processes that we're going through. I mean, I'm in here every day with my hands in the motor, working on it, trying to make sure it's running efficiently, improving it, and moving things forward. You come in here and kick sand in our faces and then go back and say that we're not getting the stuff done. So, I mean, like, we can be productive and work on solutions, or we can sit up here and argue about things that don't matter.
Nobody's arguing.
Please stop. Our goal is to move the city forward. Whether we like each other or not, what's good for the city is good for the city. And what's good for the city is getting people, the right people in the places to move the city forward. The longer we kick the can down the road, the longer we argue and bicker rather than asking questions and work productively, it's going to continue to hurt us. The opportunities that we leave on the table every day, I mean, to have a piece of property so that we can go after an opportunity is pivotal. It's just a simple transaction. It doesn't benefit me, it doesn't benefit you, it should benefit the city in the future. And so, if we can't put the petty squabbling aside and focus on the good of the city and the benefits of the citizens who are elected us to be here, we're not going to be able to move things forward. And so I simply ask for you to be honest and speak to what you know and are asked questions about what you don't know. And I'll be happy to talk through them and explain them and go through them. But like, statements, when you haven't, making bold statements when you haven't asked a question and understand the situation, it's hard for me to answer or respond or deal with it without being argumentative. But there's a lot going on here every day. And the employees and the citizens deserve better.
They do, you're right.
How is it that, I mean, how does the mayor not have the ability to appoint?
That's all fine. That's all fine. Yep.
The city attorney can answer your question.
I mean, section 11, there's 41 says that
That's okay.
he has such right, unless there's been something passed by council that states otherwise.
Yeah.
Hold on, say the last one more time.
We don't have anything that says otherwise.
Oh, we don't.
No, we don't.
We're gonna move. We're off topic. Do we have a?
I want to find this, educate yourself. Ordinance number 2012-115-8. It clearly states what's been passed, what hasn't been passed. So while you are not able to Google that on your cell phone down there,
I didn't Google it, I pulled up
It is-
the municipality, I
perfectly-
appreciate you though.
it is perfect right here. It clearly states this is a law.
We're talking about a revenue officer position?
Yes, we will.
So looking, see, council has any other input on this position? All right, if not, we'll move on to the next topic at hand, the Laserfish scanning solution. So we've did this before, the 14 annual support of $14,500 basically, and then a one-time service fee of $15,500 to come in and scan all the documents for us, so a total project cost of $29,952 with a recurring $14,000 a year to maintain the software. If council is ready, I entertain a motion.
Can I just say something? We requested additional quotes for this. Do we have those quotes?
I'm not really gonna give that return quote yet. I'm touched on that during
Yeah,
work
you
session.
did say something, but I don't think we should vote on it. $30,000 is not a lot to start. $15,000 for an annual fee. I
Great.
just think we need to wait on those quotes. That's a lot of money.
All right, do we have a motion about the topic? Motion by Margaret Bell to postpone until we have additional quotes. Seconded by Councilman Ray. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman? Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilperson Davis? Mayor Pro Tem Ray? Mayor Louise?
All right, next agenda item is the cloud permanent software. So again, this one, I've not been able to find anything that is similar to this. It does all this, all that this software does in one, but it's still a lot of money. And let's see if there's any see if anybody's willing to make a motion on this cloud permanent software proposal. So with the first year cost of $21,000 and additional cost of around $15,000 for the next 4 years. The 4 years, yeah, it's basically. Yeah. So it handles multiple facets. It handles building permitting, business licensing, basically citizen complaints and requests, and what was the other component? I think those are the main things, but the biggest component is the mobile component that can allow citizens to submit requests with pictures and evidence and get feedback when the tasks are done. And so, there are different softwares that do different parts of that. Currently, we pay for ETA Direct to do. It handles some of the court stuff, business licenses, and so it's $5,000 or $10,000 a year for ETA Direct. Then we have our permitting. A lot of our permitting is paper basically, right? And so we've got a paper system for permitting, and then for citizen complaints, it's a phone, again, another paper system and a phone system. But I can find items that do individual components, but not all of it together. But,
I just think that's what I have right now.
okay.
Motion for us to reconsider it, because I think that's a lot of money, $21,000. So we need to pay the additional $15,000 for the 4 years. I think that money could be used doing something like for different departments. But I think we can maybe do $100 for it. They can found it, and you said we was gonna get a, more revenue officer, that position, that's something that they can do when we circle back around to that. But I just think it's just too much money to spend on it.
Okay. That's it. Yeah. I'll make a motion.
Tabling means we gotta pick it up in this meeting, postponing things to later.
Table it, puts it on the table until y'all decide to take it off the table.
After it said, they told us in a discussion with the attorneys that tabling means we've gotta pick it back up in this same meeting. Postponing means to a later date.
That's not my experience. If you'd like more introduction, if that's fine, you're more than welcome to do that.
We'll postpone it to the next school year and give the pick back up in the next school year.
So motion to postpone, this solution until the next fiscal year, and Councilman Ray seconded the motion. Any discussion? All right, hearing no discussion, roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman? Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilperson Davis? Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Absolutely.
Mayor Clarice?
No. All right. So, so on the fire department updates, just looking to see if, looking for a motion on, I guess primarily the decision about the selling two of the out-of-service trucks in order to repair the third. Looking for motions on the, what to do with our current fire apparatus.
Motion, I would sell the other two, get what we can, repair what we can.
Okay, Councilwoman Davis made a motion to sell two of the out-of-service apparatus in order to repair the third. Looking for a second.
I have one quick question before we vote.
Well, this,
Well,
we need a second for the motion on the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, even before that,
Okay.
Councilwoman Davis able to make.
It doesn't, there's no financial interest.
I just want to make sure. Well, I said.
Councilwoman Bell seconds the motion. Any discussion?
No, what two trucks are we looking to sell?
Chief?
The 1994 Pierce, that is 753. And then the old blue, white and blue Pierce, that's, I believe, 2006, but it's been out of service longer than I've been here.
No, that's good.
You said 2006?
It's the last couple of purchases. Probably one of the, once it's fixed, it's probably one of the better trucks that's actually in service.
I can't speak to the performance. My guys have said that it's too big for the city and hard to drive. I can't speak to that. I've never driven it. It's the most expensive one to repair according to the 4 mechanic I've had look at it.
So we have had someone look at it. I appreciate that.
Probably needs a transmission.
So why don't we just sell them?
Sorry.
What did you say? What did you say?
I said he's a new transmission is what the, it's gonna be, about more than $20,000 to repair. The other ones are a lot less.
20,000 to repair, 700, 800,000 for the truck.
For a truck that's too big for the city.
Both kinds of big.
I think,
Because you drive it every day.
also we're, the decision of which trucks to sell should come to the fire department, who's their expertise, and they've had the mechanic look at it. We're not gonna make a better decision than the fire department will in that regard.
So my most experienced, person in my department is Tommy Brown. He's one of the lieutenants. He's retired from Birmingham. He's a truck company guy from 20 years ago. He's driven all the apparatuses, and his suggestion with the mechanics was to get rid of the 2006 one, the white and blue one, that's been out of service since I've been here, since long I've been here. He agreed that we need to get rid of the Pierce, the 1996 Pierce, 1994 Pierce, because even though we could repair it, the pump is really old and not real good, and that the best of the three that we have is the one I'm proposing that we keep, 754, is a 2004 Pierce. It's one that's parked inside the garage, and that's station on there. That was my thought process of putting that proposal together, working with my most intelligent, experienced firemen and the mechanics.
Any more discussion about the, not until we put it out there. It's being that they're out of service, it's like selling a used car that run, it's hard to know what you'll get. And being the age, the biggest issue with fire apparatus in general is that the benefit of having a new fire apparatus brings down everybody's insurance rates based on ISO ratings. And so when they're over 20 years old, you no longer get a benefit with ISO for fire apparatus. So the value of a fire truck drastically declines after they get that age mark. And so these trucks pretty much are all in that same ballpark. And so like any resale value they had, basically took a dip once they get that 20-year mark because they're not beneficial to the city. I can only speak to, I'm going to say, is it Wolf? Not Wolf Creek, but there's a station near Pell City that's selling a very nice looking truck for $100,000. It runs, but it's already over that age range. So to purchase it, it might get you, could break down tomorrow, could break down in 10 years, but it doesn't help your insurance ratings for the city by purchasing that truck. So it's $100,000. It's a complete gamble. And so the valuation is hard, and they've had the mechanics try to give estimates, but they've been all over the place. So there's no firm number. The best we can hope for is to, by selling the two, we'll have enough cash to repair the third efficiently, and so that we can get the most.
There's a lot of cities around us that have trucks that are 20 years old. Pell City being up. So
It's the maintenance of the vehicles that keep them up and go, since there was a lack of, that's the issue. And so continuing to beat a dead horse, which is literally parked and been parked for years, since you were on council previously.
probably parked for years.
How long has it been
All right, I'm going to call this order. The topic at hand is well, that's the thing.
We're going to have the one to build a fire station and purchase an apparatus at the same time. I mean, it's mathematically, it's not going to happen. I mean, the money's not there. I mean, you got 5 businesses in the city. I mean, let's be honest with each other. The station's going to cost us anywhere from $4 to $5 million.
Well, I'm supposed to sell the 94.
The motion's already, we're in discussion. The motion's already made and seconded. We're just having discussion before we vote. But let's also not talk out of our depth, because the engineer came and presented us a quote for a fire station. Like he did the engineering, he came up with the estimate, and it was presented to council.
That's a shed. There's no bedrooms in there, there's no kitchen in there, there's no nothing. That's a shell of a station at the end of the day. Where people will sleep at?
Again, the engineer presented us with the plan solution, and then we will buy the house behind it as when time allows and it's available. So
let me ask you a question. If the house is not available for a year after you build the station, again, where is the people going to lay their heads?
the engineer knows that the bedrooms and the living quarters are part of the third bay in the meantime. And so the plans are not detailed enough to show that level, but that's in the quote. And so the engineer knew the task, presented the quotes, and
Well, if there's been a motion, second, let's go ahead and vote.
agree.
Get this over.
Roll call.
Councilperson Chapman?
No.
Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre?
No.
Councilperson Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
No.
Mayor Ruiz?
Yes. Motion dies anytime.
Make a motion to sell the 94 model and keep the blue and white and fix it.
So this council's, concern.
No, but. I'll answer for
Can you repeat the motion?
Yeah, make a motion to sell the 94 and to fix the blue and white truck, spend up to $20,000.
Anything on the third apparatus?
The one we're talking about fixing. Selling two, fixing a third, that's what we said before.
My agenda says fire department updates, so
That's not good.
where's the update at?
You just talking about it.
Where does it say different trucks? Where does it say? That's what I'm saying, we don't get what we want to include on here, we just put the vague stuff. So,
There's a motion and a
The
second.
council member.
Let's vote on the motion.
I didn't hear a second. James, a second? Councilmember Ray made a motion. Clerk, could you repeat the motion?
I have a motion to sell,
engine 753 and fix the 06 blue and white engine up to $10,000.
Okay, Councilman Ray made that motion, Councilman Chapman seconded it. Any discussion?
It's going to be, per the firefighters, it's too big for our city. It will go down County Road 12, it will go down Sandy Road. It will not fit on residential roads. It's not gonna fit. So the purpose of spending the money to fix it, that you're gonna look at it, go down Sandy, but it can go no further. You're gonna look at it, go down,
It's been going 200 across for years,
has it, because it's been parked for years.
not here.
All right. So again, we have a motion on the table to like it's been parked down at the waste treatment plant for longer than I was even aware. It was parked out in front of the station for a long time before that, and so.
So more than 1 year, right? So
Yeah.
years, okay.
But
I think it got towed there, actually.
so, again, I'll just say that we're making a motion that goes counter to the department that's dealing with this day to day, that are professionals and do this for a living, and that the mechanics recommended. So, like, all right, with that, yes. We have multiple mechanics come out, look at all three units, and give rough ideas for how much they're worth and what needs to be done to repair the most of it. Represented it during his update when he came up. So he came up and spoke. And, oh, yeah, okay. But, all right, roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman? Councilperson Bell? Councilperson McIntyre? Councilperson Davis?
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray?
Yes.
Mayor Luise?
No. Motion fails. All right. Do we have any other motions up on this topic or the other fire department updates?
We can't even get a monthly report.
It sounds to me like we continue to attack the department rather than plainly asking.
That's it.
This is, so, again, you continue, it sounds like you're continuing to attack the employees, and so it's,
We're asking for clarity.
it's,
Clarity. Just like this, the police department brings their report. They have full-time people, they produce full-time reports. They have
again,
full-time people.
I was not done talking, so if you
I'm
please,
still talking.
no, you did not have the floor, you will come to order.
So I'm at order, right now. I'm telling you,
So-
we're just asking for clarity. Asking for clarity.
You
Clarity.
put it back.
Clarity.
The chief gave his verbal report, he said he will put it in his reports in the future. That's what he wanted.
You have to define what you're looking for.
We defined in November and December,
You did not.
January.
We're gonna move on to the Juneteenth and Fourth of July events. We intend to have a, shoot, yeah. Tell me right. Well, I'm talking up here. So, we're gonna make a proclamation next council meeting for the Juneteenth celebration, and, looking to essentially, whether you're looking to make a motion or anything about, hot dogs, food, activities, what would you like?
So let me just kind of talk about our goal was to provide hot dogs, chips, water, juice, entertainment, some things for the kids to do, and some vendors. And as of right now, one little game truck, maintain it. Maybe someone have to put on a show for them. And the vendors. And for the food, right now, our cost is, $324. We don't have the estimate cost for the entertainment. One day, the Johnson House is a little bit, $375 for 4 hours. And the game truck, we got two estimates, one was $625 and the other one was $7. And then for 4 hours as well, but we'll get a country estimate on that. That's why we need to do something.
So no motion tonight, just.
No motion tonight, because I want to have the grand total.
And, sounded like someone mentioned that, someone's gonna be donating money for fireworks or donating
They're
fireworks.
responsible, yes, they're paying for the fireworks for the 4th of July. Fireworks party.
So we have the advertising covered, the fireworks themselves covered. We'll just need to look into food and everything else, and like might as well bring up some numbers and an estimate for the motion at the next council meeting. All right. All right, hearing that, the city attorney has asked us that we go into an executive session. And so I'm looking for a motion to suspend the rules to vote to go into an executive session. So the motion to suspend the rules, which has to pass unanimously, and then we'll look for a motion to go into executive session. Councilwoman Bell makes a motion to suspend the rules. Councilwoman Davis seconds the motion. Roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman?
Yeah.
Councilperson Bell?
Yes.
Councilperson McIntyre?
Yes.
Councilperson Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rain?
Yeah.
Mayor Parisi?
Yes. Now we're looking for a motion to go into executive session. Councilwoman Davis makes a motion to go into executive session. Can I have a second? Councilwoman Bell seconds the motion. Roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman?
Yeah.
Councilperson Bell? Councilperson McIntyre? Councilperson Davis? Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Rain? Mayor Parisi?
All right, we're going to go into an executive session for about 10 minutes. It should be relatively short.
This executive session will be for the purpose of discussing controversies imminently likely to be litigated or imminently likely to be litigated should the governmental body take a proposed course of action.
Should return in about 10 minutes, guys.
Happy birthday.
Good job. Hold that chair down. Just making sure chair will.
Hold up my headphones and you crack on it.
Have a secret squirrel in the background, right?
Yeah, you do, yes, ma'am. You have until then. Sorry.
Yeah.
Good. Sorry.
Good.
Okay, good. What information?
Show never. Well, you know, even though the work takes off really sound, it started out going on for a seat to the back. There you go. It's all good.
So here's my related from right here and now.
Yeah.
That's a wearing off. We start out so good and everybody loves each other, and then I think we just got to find out what meds they take, and we'll just bring mayonnaise jars full of them. And after every sentence, we'll take a handful of meds and just keep trying.
I think.
We're the first redneck.
Oh, with 4 children. Yeah, it is what it is.
It's,
That's an awful long way for you to walk. To walk. Yeah, it is. Look how many wheels in it. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's good for the dog. I'll be like, my dog, I bet you can go nuts. I'll feed you less than that. You're gonna shake these.
what's that?
You're gonna shake your hands.
I ain't gonna promise it's not gonna look good, but yeah.
I make a motion. Hire a city medical officer and he will dispense Valium for every meeting.
There you go. I'm trying to keep quiet.
Obviously, if we had that report, we'd wave it in front of the engine and the engine fixes itself. Because the engine's on protest for not having it.
I do not.
I don't think $20,000 we don't fix it with a white truck. Yeah.
The mechanics told me that.
No,
And all of my drivers, especially look, Tony Brown has been doing this longer than I'm.
He's been at work for how many years? Since I worked here the first time.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know, but he said that blue truck was a great truck somewhere else. It's too big, we can't get up to speed on these hills. It's neat.
And when you do, then you gotta stop.
Just come out here and propose an idea, flip it, and then I'll research, look it up, and it's everything.
No, you're not on trial.
Their area doesn't know what I call them out.
Well,
That's the whole.
You know, we go squirt water somewhere else.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why they don't support it.
I mean, it's
I mean, it's
it's
a necessary.
the fact that, you know, the chief just said that it takes 8.5 minutes to get to probably our two biggest neighborhoods. If there isn't a bigger impetus to go do something, and that 8.5 minutes is based on no training.
Right. Right.
Or a car accident on the way there, you know, that you're stopping traffic and you can't get there.
Well, about Alabama, how we're working.
That's it.
What if that's allowed around the train? Maybe because I've lived in
I don't think what's on my report
other
is
places
really
where
gonna.
like,
So my report is calls for service. The number of reports being incident offense reports and
they still
accident
do paper
reports.
instead of.
Right. How many traffic stops we
When they
make?
catch,
How many
when
citations?
Gene catches somebody working in the city,
How many warnings we
and
written?
he says, you gotta
How
go
many
say,
arrests
okay.
made, felony,
You know,
and or
I'll
misdemeanor?
go there today.
How many business
Finish your job,
security
and then they
control
take off.
checks we make, and how many residential?
Part of my job is working with, you know, building officials. All of that, it's their house one time, and one of them, and I didn't know. You know?
Yeah. Just open up the door. I'm like,
You think contractor licensing.
I didn't know. I didn't- but when something, I was pretty long,
The other thing that I was smoking for a second about, I heard mumble under his breath, like $30,000 to buy the software and do all the documents. He said, that's a salary. I said, yeah, but you know what? You pay the salary every year, you pay the $30,000 once.
Right, and then the salary, you got benefits on top of that.
Yeah, exactly. So that means, that just shows how disconnected he is from reality.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the other thing is, you know, and I'm not trying to say that anybody here is working hard, but if we're surviving without two city clerks, maybe we're doing something. Maybe something's working.
Yeah.
It's just made different.
Oh, okay.
Seriously considering. selling my dog.
I wouldn't sell. Think of all the fun you're gonna miss.
This is true entertainment on a Monday night.
That's right. And it's free. Well, it's not free, you pay taxes.
Yeah.
You pay taxes somewhere else, the same story.
They would make a TV show.
Nobody would believe it.
I think that the wheel was all over.
Except for the most part, you don't need a fire rescue tank. He's basically running a carriage out of it and he's trying to get rid of it before it goes bad. Because when it goes bad, it's gonna go bad.
He's a big sweet.
What lost in
You didn't see her run? Probably good thing. Thank you.
It's my fault, I shouldn't.
Okay.
Did you get a flashbang? Drop in there and shut the door?
Actually, a beehive would be a better one.
Got some clear out.
Yeah, the beehive leaves actually bruises, so I remember it for a while.
Oh, we did. I apologize. It's a good day. It's a good day. That's a rare thing.
Work as advertised. But the bigger issue is when's it gonna happen again? God forbid it's somebody on a bicycle or a pedestrian instead of a mailbox.
I can do it.
You do a cool spring.
They're yelling at us.
Are they?
It isn't considered money. So if
Oh, yeah.
our engine breaks down, I'll have, we don't definitely have an engine. That's not, I wasn't gonna try to use it because I didn't want to spend time on it, but it's breaking down.
Cool springs when I was here, they had a fire. And those, that is, cool for probably pulled it down the road with another engine. I don't know what was going on, but you saw the change.
I mean, listen, growing up, I thought of Margaret as being like redneck.
Okay, so if you run it,
My whole world has been serving people. I was a minister for 15 years, and now I'm trying to serve in the fire service. And I've never seen a good try to get in the way of serving. Crazy.
first. I'm trying my hardest.
You want to, guess what we do? Go home. No questions asked.
Can you take a credit card over the phone? Looks like you're having a medium level of heart attack. That will be a $300 down. I'll need to take that deposit now. Surcharge. Yeah. And then we'll discuss dispatch. Yeah, we can get there about between 9 and 3, like the cable company. We'll be here between 9 and 3 tomorrow.
All right, so call the meeting back to order. So, let's see if we have anything, in council, after the executive session, like to discuss or, anything you'd like to make?
Make a motion to post the police chief job and the public works director job for 60 days. Who said that?
Pro Tem's made a motion to post job for 60 days. We have a second. Okay, hearing no second.
I make a motion that we go ahead,
A motion dies, just have to make sure to clarify.
I make a motion that we go ahead and appoint the people that are in that position. Let them continue doing their job that they have been doing well.
Councilman Davis makes a motion to continue with the appointments.
Council, would you like to tell them we're in this discussion?
We're not in discussion at this point, but for a second.
I'm talking to the city attorney.
Controlling the meeting. So,
I'm not going to discuss what we discussed in the executive session.
all right. So, looking for a second to the motion. I hear a second. I'll second Councilman Davis' motion to continue the appointments. Any discussion on the motion?
Just not understanding why we're arguing about who's doing what, because they've been doing it. There should be no reason.
It's actually the legality of
Be no reason.
power.
Or,
I thought we said it was discussing.
I'm trying to finish what I'm saying.
all right, if there's no constructive, no more constructive conversation, I'll call for a roll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman.
Yes.
Councilperson Bell.
To keep Todd and to keep.
Councilperson McIntyre. Councilperson Davis.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ray.
Yeah.
Mayor Reese.
Yes. Thank you all very much. Next topic on the agenda is the mayor's report. And so, all right, I just want to thank council staff, everyone, and department heads here for working, for all the work that went in tonight. And all the work that goes on every day here that is behind closed doors and people don't see. A lot of what we're doing is not glamorous, but it's necessary. I mean, it's fixing meter pits, it's fixing lift stations, it's doing so many things that you know the city has to do to operate and provide the services for the city, and those things are what determine whether the city runs well or not. And so our focus remains on getting Margaret organized, improving the basic operations, and making decisions that help us better in the long run. Some of these items cost money, but they're tied to real needs, better records, and better permitting, and better infrastructure and maintenance of the city. So I also just want to thank everyone in the community for all their support, and everyone, welcome everybody to come out to the upcoming events and show your support of the city. I will say to the coming on Dave earlier, we had our first chair yoga class today, and we had a packed house, and it was a really good turnout, and it showed a real need for a third place for seniors to gather and be able to hold events. And so just want to really thank everybody for all the work they're putting in to move the Margaret forward. So now I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to put the city clerk on the agenda. We hadn't put on there. That should never been on there. Why was that on the agenda?
What's, can you like explain your motion, or are you talking about for the next council meeting, or?
Put it on the current agenda. Why was it not put on the agenda?
I mean, we're still gathering more applications, and we're gonna do some,
Why are we gathering more applications? We didn't make a motion to put it back out there for 7 more applications.
we've made no determination, and so the city needs someone in that position, so we pursued more opportunities. If council wasn't happy with the candidates we had, we'd try to get some more candidates. And by posting it with the job description, we've gotten several good responses, but we want to make sure that we don't flood the council with too many applications, and so we're gonna just.
So we haven't decided to put it back out there or anything. So basically all we got is current applicants that were put in for, correct?
Council chose to take no action, and so as mayor, I got more applications
I
and
make a
more
motion
opportunities.
to put T.J. McIntyre back as city clerk at $62,000 a year,
If you're,
and to eliminate the position.
sir,
of
you're out of order.
I'm fine. I just
You
made a motion.
can't make that motion. You got to suspend the rules.
Suspend the rules for what? We're still in the open session.
Modify, you're trying to modify the agenda? Like, so you need a motion to suspend the rules.
You don't need a motion to suspend the rules. The topic's already been brought up, period. So you don't have to make a motion to
You're
suspend the rules.
making a motion to modify the
Suspend
agenda in practice,
rules. I'm not
right?
finished talking, I'll let you talk, okay? The motion to suspend the rules would only be for something that's been brought up for the first time, okay? Therefore, there's no need to suspend the rules moving forward. So my motion was, since we don't have any more applicants, we haven't made a motion to move anywhere.
I'm gonna stop you again. You're modifying the agenda. I'm the chair. I took the floor. You're attempting to modify the agenda, which requires a suspension of the
It's
rules.
not.
Apparently, yes, it
There's
does.
no modification of agenda. We're sitting here discussing. Council, could you advise?
It has been brought up before.
Correct.
The request is to modify the agenda.
There's no request to modify the agenda. That's your verbiage you're inserting into my motion.
It's the reality of what the motion.
No, the reality is, you're incorrect. That's the reality.
The reality is you're not the chair, so please come to order.
Yeah, we're looking for a second now.
No, we're not looking for a
We
second.
are looking for a second.
We're not looking for a second because you're out of order.
How am I out of order?
I've declared clearly how you're out of order.
Motion's out there. Just looking for a second.
Right before he did.
Yep.
I literally got it out of my mouth.
The motion to adjourn takes precedence over.
Okay, well then vote on the motion to adjourn.
You want to finish
We'll need a second motion to adjourn.
for a second, motion to adjourn? I'll second the motion to adjourn. Roll call.
Councilperson Chapman? Councilperson Bell? Councilperson McIntyre?
No.
Councilperson Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rainey?
No.
Mayor Parisi?
Yes.
Now,
Are we gonna sit here and argue about it for another hour?
my motion is, since we have no other applicants, the most qualified, I make a motion to bring in Ms. T.J. McIntyre at $62,000 and eliminate the position of the city clerk.
You're
Still takes the meeting.
calling your order. You're still attempting to modify the agenda. We need the,
There's no modification. And a motion can be made at any time during any council meeting by any given person sitting at this desk.
you're modifying the agenda, which
There's no
requires a
modification.
suspension of
That's
rules
you inserting your words. I'm looking for a second.
where the council's input on modifying the agenda.
I second his motion.
So a motion to suspend the rules is needed to address a specific item of business outside of the usual agenda order.
We just
So I guess we should educate ourselves, huh?
we just addressed that.
We made a motion to suspend the rules and it passed. As a good chair, I'm leaving the meeting following the rules of, all right. Councilman Bell makes a motion to suspend the rules. Councilman Chapman seconds. We'll call vote.
Councilperson Chapman? Councilperson Bell? Yes. Councilperson McIntyre? Councilperson Davis? No.
Okay, the motion dies. Has to be unanimous. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Councilman Davis makes a motion to adjourn. Looking for a second. Hearing no second, I'll second the motion. A lot of this could be sorted out by a simple email or request, some information sent before a council meeting rather than trying to cause a scene in the council meeting.
A lot of it could be sorted out by you not trying to abuse the appointing authority that you currently don't have by legal document in the state of Alabama. So if you want to talk about what legally could be done, what legally cannot be done, it all starts with you, right?
You know, it really comes down to you always seem to attempt to start an argument and cause a scene rather than creating a solution and a positive action for the city.
Positive action for the city would be for you to give us the bank statements we've asked for, which you still haven't. Show me the documents, the bank statements.
The entire public has seen the documents. They've seen me share the documents in an email.
That's not documents.
Yes.
Thank you.
If the quorum is broken, which it is, meeting is adjourned. Thank y'all very much. Have a great night.